Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Very happy to be here back at IAA. This is a very special IAA for Qualcomm as we continue to advance within the automotive industry and help our many partners go into an incredible amount of transformation. Our role, it will continue to be the company driving innovation that enables connected and intelligent computing everywhere. That's impacting every single industry. And of course, there's no industry where this is more apparent than the automotive industry. The digital transformation of the automotive is accelerating. And technology is really at the heart of an automotive industry revolution. You know, I like to think about IAA right now, and hopefully you all had that experience as you walk around the many displays and booths. IAA is a tech conference right now, and that's because the automotive companies are becoming tech companies as well. And as I mentioned, the pace of this change is one of the fastest that the industry have seen. When we talk about how we think about the automobile right now, and I'm going to use this part of the presentation to talk about two very important things when we look at this transformation. You used to think about the automobile as a device that is going to go, a product that is going to take you from point A to point B. But the automobile is being redefined as a new living space. It is a new living space and in how we work, how we play, in addition of going from A to B. And that's been enabled by technology. And a vehicle is really becoming a compute platform. It's becoming a connected computer on wheels, especially when you think about the combination of the digital transition with electrification. So, welcome to the era of the software-defined vehicle. This new computing platform, connected computing platform, is enabling the era of the software-defined vehicle. The new levels of computing, new levels of intelligence on the car, as well as always-on connectivity with the cloud. It's creating completely new personalized experiences, assisted driving and autonomy, but also the ability to have a car as a central hub for digital services. This is an incredible opportunity for the entire ecosystem. You know, it's not only a challenge, this digital transformation of the industry, but actually more than a challenge, it's really an opportunity. And I wanted to say, and I feel that is the case, and many of our OEMs and many of our automaker partners in tier ones and members of the entire ecosystem also feel the same way. Leadership in this industry will be redefined by the ones that are able to embrace this transition. Today, in this presentation, I want to focus on three main areas. We're going to talk about how we're continue to evolve and think about assisted driving. It's more than autonomy and fully autonomous cars, the ability to make sure that you have the ability to add ADAS to every single car. It's really moving into mainstream as vehicles are becoming more aware of its surrounding. That's going to be one topic of conversation. The second one that I want to talk about is this idea of the car becoming a new living space and how we're going to interact with the car. And combined with that, how do we think about new services? It's a common topic of a conversation in the industry about the new business models and the new services. And it's incredible to see what technology is enabling, and I'm going to give you some idea of some of what's possible when we think about those services. For all of this to happen, right, technology needs to evolve across multiple vectors. Because it's not only impacting the vehicles, but also is impacting the entire transportation industry. I'm going to show you some examples as software-defined vehicles get inserted into the intelligent transportation, how that is changing even how you think about something of fleet management. For that to happen, it requires purpose-built solutions that are optimized across all the technologies required by software-defined vehicles, from semiconductors to sensors to software to services in the cloud. And those are massive changes that can only be done through partnerships. And we believe that with 4 decades of proving leadership in innovation, Qualcomm has the capabilities and the mindset to be a partner of the automotive industry in this transition. And it speaks a lot also about the view that you need open, flexible platforms that will help the automakers on this journey so they can also innovate. And as we look at this entire opportunity, the Snapdragon Digital Chassis is the foundation for the software-defined vehicle. We had this vision, and we're relatively new in the automotive industry, but hopefully you can see that we're becoming more and more relevant. But we had this vision that the digital challenge is not about one component. The digital challenge is about really creating a platform that will touch on the multiple technologies that are going to be required by the software-defined vehicle, and that's the vision behind the Snapdragon Digital Chassis. It's about creating connectivity of all different technology and wireless and make sure that the connectivity is always there. It's about having the computing platform for the new digital experience. That's the Snapdragon Digital Cockpit. An ability to have an efficient and powerful platform for ADAS and autonomy, which is Snapdragon Ride. And it's part of this whole platform is really the Snapdragon Car to Cloud service platform, which is at the end of the day, this is going to redefine the experience of owning a car. And what we like about the approach and the feedback we're getting from our customers and the fact that we have traction with the majority of the automakers is because our platform provides the OEMs the opportunity to own and redefine the experience, not only when you purchase the vehicle, but also during the life cycle of the vehicle. The Snapdragon Digital Chassis is really enabled by a common architecture built on the Qualcomm leading technologies. I will define Qualcomm. The elevator pitch on Qualcomm is about everything wireless connectivity. It's about high performance compute and on-device artificial intelligence. And when we put all of this together in this automotive custom-built platform, it provides a scalable, multi-tier platform that it can also be cloud native and is standard compliant. And we deliver all of this in not only in a high performance, but low power package. That is the complete solution that we believe is going to support the industry and our partners in this digital transition of the automobile. Not only today, but also future-proofing the car for the future, especially as we change how we think about the industry, which means you have to have innovation. Your car needs to get better over time, over its life cycle. And here I want to talk a little bit about why we believe that in a very short period of time, since we started to be recognized as a technology partner of the automotive industry, why we're achieving so much success when we measure by the number of our partners. It's because one of the things that Qualcomm is also known for is the ability to build ecosystems. And we build ecosystem with this mindset that we're not the only company innovating. We need to enable each and every one of our customers and our partners to also innovate. And when we do that, we collect the amount of R&D, not only of Qualcomm, but all of the other customers combined. And I think that creates an ability for the industry to move forward. And I think that's the proof from where we started and where we are right now, we're extremely proud of being able to partner and serve many companies within this ecosystem. The digital chassis has achieved a very strong momentum in our technology, the ability to have expertise in every single domain, and the ability to be a trusted partner is really creating a positive momentum, not only for us, but our many partners. And the way we think about this, we only succeed if our partners succeed. So our dedication to our partner success and our long-term commitment to the automotive industry is what's really making us proud and continue to see traction on the Snapdragon Digital Chassis. So I told you I'll talk about 3 different topics. I want to start with the future of ADAS. Assisted driving could enable us to achieve this goal of a zero-crash future. The vehicles are becoming significantly more aware of their surroundings, and especially when you look of the multitude of technologies, and we talk about the software-defined vehicle inserted into a network of other vehicles and things. And the systems are really helping drivers navigate more efficient and safely, at the same time enable the drivers to also see the car as another living space. So the way to think about ADAS is just a new way of driving. That even if you are the driver behind the wheel, you're driving, but the car is also driving with you. And that's enabled by a wide array of technology, including sensors, from radars to LiDARs to computer vision with camera, connectivity, connectivity such as technology such as C-V2X allow every car to see each other, as well as pedestrians, vulnerable workers, infrastructure. You also require significant computing power, extraordinary complex software and artificial intelligence. You need to have the ability to deal with things like latency and immediacy. And you have the ability to do all of this without taking away from the car range, because you cannot put a server on a trunk of an EV, especially as you think about battery power computing. It's now into a device that has to have the maximum possible range. This is an area of a lot of innovation, an area that brings unique challenges. And it's another great example about the importance of partnership. If you want to tackle that problem, and you want to do this for the industry and do this across multiple tiers, you need to do this with a very strong partnerships. I want to use this opportunity to tell you how we're solving this problem and how we're solving this with one of the great industry leaders in a partner that Qualcomm is very, very proud to be, which is BMW. We have been working with BMW for more than a decade. And we're very excited to see how closely we're collaborating across the Snapdragon Digital Chassis to deliver the future of the car, including the new digital cockpit experience and ADAS and autonomy. To hear more, please welcome Frank Weber, member of the board of BMW and in charge of development.
I got that wow. Who wants some hits right now? We got that.
Frank, thank you so much.
I know you're
So, John Ranger, Cristiano, it's my deal with us, and thank you for making also the right choice of suit color. This is great. Look, I wanted to ask you a couple questions. And, as I said before, I think we're incredibly proud of this partnership, because also it's not only a partnership between Qualcomm and BMW, but also a partnership that can help the industry.
Absolutely.
So, could you tell us about BMW technology strategy and how Qualcomm is supporting your vision?
Yeah. Cristiano, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me here to stage. It was easy for me to say yes, because as Cristiano is pointing out, this is not just a technology partnership. I think this is in one of the key technology area which is leading towards autonomous driving. It is connecting to very strong partners. You asked me, what is the BMW strategy? Very simple. You simply have to be top-notch in all key innovation areas. I think this is important to us because when you look at a BMW and you saw that little video that you say, I'm driving the car and the car is driving with me. If you own the ultimate driving machine, you can understand why for BMW this has a very special meaning. And when you look at our philosophy, what's important to understand, we are not building smartphones on wheels. It is a unique way of integrating all technologies. And by the way, there's no exception. We can talk about propulsion, we can talk about sustainability, or we will talk about digital today. What is important for BMW is to integrate all of that into one holistic experience where people don't know exactly why it is, but they come out of a BMW and they have more trust and they are more convinced that their drive was the best drive they can get. I give you 2 examples, and by the way, your company is involved in those 2 examples. On Friday, we have launched the new Mini family. These are battery electric vehicles. They have a very nice round OLED display, crystal clear OLED display in the middle. It goes back to the Mini history. And we intensively looked what is the interaction of that OLED display and what is the user interface we can generate for this Mini family. It will go into all products in the Mini family. And you will say, oh, this fits very well to the brand. And by the way, your chipset is included in the head unit of this Mini family. So this is one portion of digital. But let's come to driver assistance and some of the highly automated functions. And I'd like to use our most recent introduction, the 5 Series. 5 Series is interesting for 2 reasons. Because it has a further evolution step in our current ADAS stack that we introduced in 21. But the difference now in 23 is we were the first OEM here in Germany who got approval for a level 2++ function. Hands-off up to 130 kilometers an hour, true hands-off. And you can just do the lane change by a quick view into the outside rearview mirror. This is how you initiate the lane change. I just had a longer drive over the weekend. I can guarantee you, you have an hour of almost autonomous drive, but it's a level 2 system. So what's clear, we have a very good foundation for the 2 of us. Level 3 will come in the 7 Series later this year. And then we talk about real level 3. And so our strategies, just in that area, to summarize it, is that we decided earlier and announced it, we want to strengthen that partnership and jointly co-develop a stack for level 2 and level 3 systems for 2025. And I think what the ambition of both of our companies would be, if this is not top-notch, I think we both would be disappointed.
Absolutely. Yes. Very good. Look, this is great. I think it's incredible what we're doing together, and especially as you talk about we're doing some joint development. You know, what's your impression of our team's collaboration?
Yeah, you indicated autonomous driving functions are very, very difficult to implement and get at the end authority approval. I can guarantee you to everybody who has done level 3 approval, and we just got our level 3 system approved, this is a major rework on how you work. And so therefore I think the teams from the beginning said is we have to create a co-development culture of a team that has almost 1,500 people between us spread around the world. And I think we were very successful over the last more than 1 year, almost 2 years.
Absolutely.
How we established a working environment that strengths-based, people from Qualcomm, people from us are now co-developing this stack. We moved actually the development work into the cloud. And I think for everybody who's looking at us, you should be clear, this is not for BMW only. This is influencing the entire industry because our interest is that we are using the intellectual property BMW can bring to the party from the system we currently have. We further develop it for 2025, and we will guarantee that the best experience is in the BMW, and I think Qualcomm will then see how this can be commercialized through other OEMs, and I think we are inviting others to participate in that stack.
Which is great. I think it's a very unique new engagement model that we have. All teams from both companies working as one team, and actually the ability to build something that the industry can benefit. It's truly incredible, and it's a great example that what I mentioned before, the sum of the R&D and innovation of all companies are always going to be greater and bigger than the company doing it alone. And I think that's why we're so happy with this partnership. And on that note, tell me about what BMW is working on for the future.
Yeah. This mobility show here is of utmost significance to us. Because when I said we want to be defining in all key innovation areas, what was obvious when we were thinking about our future, that is digital, electric, sustainable, we had the impression it is time for a major upgrade in all of those areas. And therefore we have shown here what we call Neue Klasse. Neue Klasse goes in the BMW history back to the 60s, where BMW had a major change within their product strategy. And when you look at Neue Klasse means for us, 2025, we will provide technology solutions that are all new. And this is particularly true for the digital solutions. So the board, the electronic architecture in this vehicle has no carryover, except maybe some elements that are helpful when it comes to software reuse. But it has four super brains for the key areas of driving, for the body, for infotainment, and certainly for ADAS. And this stack here is exactly what we are both working on within Neue Klasse. It uses Snapdragon and it uses computer vision from Qualcomm, and this is what the team is currently working on for Neue Klasse. And the SOP is 2025. And who knows what in the development process a launch in 2025 means for the team right now, knows that there is a lot of good tension in the system to deliver 2025.
Very good. Frank, thank you so much. We're incredibly proud to be with you on this journey for this whole new architecture. We couldn't be more happy with the partnership, and thank you so much for being with here today. Thank you.
Cristiano.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Good luck.
it. Thank you. You know, this is really exciting. And we had an announcement with BMW today at the show when we announced we're continuing our collaboration to redefine those next vehicles. We can't wait to see in drive what's coming next from this partnership. So one thing I want to show you is maybe some example of what this, what we're accomplishing together. So I would like you to take a look of a video of our joint work, Qualcomm and BMW. Please take a look at that. Thank you. That's great. So this is, as we look into the software-defined vehicle, and we look at all these functionalities, the software-defined vehicle is also changing how we think about development of the car. And as you see a lot of the BMW and the Qualcomm team working together, but we have another important announcement to make today. We're advancing the future of software-defined mobility, also how we think about the development process of the car. So today, we're very pleased to announce that Qualcomm and AWS were partnered to advance the software-defined mobility future as we think about the development process of the car. We're doing this by creating a cloud-native environment for the car and create a different process for you to develop and test capabilities of the vehicle as the vehicle is this new software-defined vehicle. Here's a description of what we're doing together. You have the ability to replicate in the cloud the hardware of the car in the development environment. So you can develop and test new functions before you move to a traditional testing in the vehicle. You also have the ability to do a lot of the reprocessing. As you think about the multiple decisions that a car is making on assisted driving and autonomy, as you saw in the video, you have the ability to reprocess across the many different cars and be able to continue to improve the algos and the performance of your ADAS system. At the same time, when you think about the digital cockpit experience, the ability to add new capabilities. This is the first of its kind. I think we're very happy with this partnership and the announcements, and I think there's a lot that is changing in this industry, especially as you completely streamline the development process of the car. So now I'm going to go to the second. I told you I'll talk about three topics: ADAS, the future of ADAS, the car as a new living space in services. So I'm going to talk about the car as a new living space and talk about the digital cockpit. So the digital cockpit today, it's already providing a completely different experience. You know, I want to comment to some of the things that Frank said about bringing all this different functionality to the car. And you can, but you may not need to, bring your smartphone to the car, as those digital cockpits continue to provide you a number of different functionality. They're more intelligent, they're rich in multimedia, they're always connected, they're equipped with an incredible amount of processing power that enable that immersive digital experience. And it's unique about what we're doing with the Snapdragon Digital Chassis, because we developed this in a way that could be also modular, so you can take this across every single tier of cars, especially as consumers are going to expect, you know, that digital experience when they look for any car. You enable multiple displays, sometimes more than 8. You have advanced graphics. You have advanced audio. You have the ability to monitor the driver, integrating the digital cockpit as part of your assisted driving and safety. And we have a number of great examples of that implementation. So today at IAA, we also made an announcement with another great industry leader about the Snapdragon Digital Chassis powering the 2024 Mercedes-Benz E-Class sedan for the Mercedes-Benz user experience. As you can see, it's a very beautiful digital cockpit and creates a very premium experience for multimedia, for streaming, high-speed gaming. It has intuitive artificial intelligence that allow your experience to be personalized to you, also for controls. And we're really grateful for this long-standing relationship with Mercedes-Benz and excited to help bring their vision to life. And in addition to that announcement, you see the Qualcomm Snapdragon Digital Cockpit is powering cockpits around the world across many different OEMs. These cockpits are really taking advantage of the advanced capabilities of the digital chassis and the ability of the multiple OEMs to define their experience for the users. And when we talk about the digital cockpit that you see in the cars today, this is an area that is changing very, very fast. So we're going to talk about how do we think about the digital cockpit evolving. It's going to be fueled by a lot of personal information stored securely and locally in the car, and the fact that the car is aware of its surroundings. So think about you're inserted in the car knows you, the car sees what's around you, and the car can interact with other things about you and the car from, your respective digital twin. And that provides the ability for those digital cockpit experience to create a completely new experience that is going to be tuned to each driver, passenger, and vehicle. So I'd like you to show you a view of what's possible. Those experiences are enabled by artificial intelligence running on the device, processing your data, processing the data from its surrounding, and it's moving to an era that is just going simply beyond recognizing an occupant and adjusting individual settings. It will change how we navigate. The navigation will become significantly more intelligent because you're going to plan optimal routing based not only the real-time conditions, but things that are important to you. It will support smart entertainment, productivity, as you think about the car being a new living space, productivity while you're driving, and the ability to change how we experience multimedia, now customized to anyone in the car and its surroundings. And of course, as you look at this is an incredible opportunity to take advantage of generative AI. And the ability that Qualcomm has to run those large models of generative AI in our silicon in the car with an efficient power consumption. Generative AI is really coming to the car experience. And it's going to be an incredible piece of the future of the immersive digital cockpit. The way you should think about this is natural language models and natural language communication is perfect for the car, especially when you are behind the wheel. The same thing you see about the ability to have large visualization models, especially about the car cameras, are seeing anything inside and around the car. This will create a completely different experience. The way I described to you, and hopefully you saw some of the examples, is you now have between the human and the car interface, the Gen AI, which is going to go in and out different functionalities of the car and be able to predict some of the things you wanted. And that's going to be a great platform when we think about the last part of my conversation, which is going to be the service opportunity for the car and for the automotive industry. So let's watch a demo of what we show in our concept car here at the show.
Hey Snapdragon, find me a recipe for chicken enchilada.
I found a recipe for chicken enchilada. Would you like to add the ingredients to the shopping app?
Yes.
Okay, they are added and will be ready for pickup on your way home.
So this, as you can see, this is a great example of basically use Gen AI to integrate different experience. There are with completely different applications. About searching for something you want. It's about looking at an application, looking at the ingredients, looking at an application that you'll be able to order, and the ability to plan your route on that. And I think that's just the beginning. It's fascinating to see in many of our dialogues with many automakers, the number of use cases that are appearing for Gen AI and the ability to take advantage of Qualcomm platform running Gen AI on the device. And that's going to be a significant upgrade of the cockpit experience now and into the future. And especially as you think about the software-defined vehicle and the whole cockpit, it's part of this shift of the car, as you heard from BMW, towards a central, high-performance, accelerating computer and architecture. That also give OEMs more control and the ability to future-proof its platform by continuing to enhance their products through the life cycle. Your car will get better over time. And another thing that we like about this, especially if you remember I mentioned about the redefinition of leadership in the industry, the digital cockpit is going to be essential to define the experience between the car user and the automaker. So that's really a great and exciting opportunity. And when we put those things together, we will be able to talk about all of those new services that are coming to the car. So it's often a topic of conversation about those new future cars are going to have for the automotive industry an opportunity to monetize a large number of digital services. Here's a way to think about it, and I think it's a very positive way to think about it. When we developed the fundamental technologies that were essential to create the smartphone is the largest development platform of mankind today. I'm sure it's your inseparable device. I'm sure you get anxiety when you're not close to the smartphone. And one of the things the smartphone did, besides changing the society, created an incredible app economy that reshaped the global economy. Smart vehicles are positioned to do the same. And we're just at the beginning. So the opportunity for service is very significant. And especially as the car is a different device that can bring all the different ecosystems together to the car, and it is being defined as a new living space. We're very beginning of this opportunity, but we're very excited to see how the ecosystem development. We can already see some very concrete cases. So this is one example. Vehicles can intelligently recognize the opportunity to offer a service. So a vehicle owner will be able to choose if they want to purchase a particular service from the automaker for short-term or long-term use, and that can be activated over the air and paid for using integrated payments. No different than what you do with your smartphone. For example, automated valet parking can be offered as a one-time or subscription-based, and the offer will be based in the context that the vehicle's in, the location where the vehicle see, the direction, and the user. And that is a great example of the many different services we can have. Let me show you another one. One of the things we see with EVs, but it will not be fair if I say EV, what we see with those immersive digital cockpit experience, which are awesome, the user wants to spend more time in the car. We have seen that some of those modern cars, including EVs, a user in some OEMs had reported will spend about 35 minutes, in some cases up to an hour more in the car. So what you can see is you have the opportunity while you're waiting or spending time on the car to offer special services, for example, as video and gaming. When waiting at a charging station, example, the vehicle will suggest content based on your personal preference or maybe the availability of your time. Even a recommendation about something for you to buy and get delivered to you. Let me show now something different. When we think about predictive or active maintenance, it's how you reimagine the process of maintenance in a vehicle. The drivers will be able to interact with vehicles to understand the issues and then pursue the resolution in real time. Vehicle will be alerted to the condition, will respond to questions. They will let you know if there is a problem, and they will suggest not only a service option, but they will complete the reservation for you. When you think about all those software-defined vehicles and all those connected vehicles now inserted in the transportation system, it's also started to change, creating services for other companies that are associated with the vehicles. For example, fleet management and fleet management operator. You have the ability now to have visibility into their vehicles remotely, be able to actuate on the vehicle, provide recommendations, streamline our entire business. And those intelligent systems, integrating the intelligence from the cloud with the intelligence on the vehicle, will help optimize and redefine completely the process of fleet management. So in summary, it is real, the opportunity to provide new connected services. I think, as we said, we're in the very beginning of this process, in align not only with the digital lifestyle consumers today, but also with this model that you'll be able now to monetize the technology you produce for the car over the life of the vehicle. We've been very busy working with many of our OEM partners to enable this vision in the digital chassis and make a seamless integration of their experience and services with the cloud and other ecosystems. So now I talk about those three areas I want to talk about. ADAS, the digital cockpit of the car as a new living space, and the incredible opportunity for services. But we're not stopping here with the digital cockpit. We also have something else that we're announcing at the show today. When we think about the future of two-wheelers, that's another very important part of the transportation system. And it goes back to the approach that we take as Qualcomm, especially because of our heritage in telecom, is not only about the car, it's not about a particular vehicle, it's the network of vehicle and everything around it. And of course, that's a key element when you think about transportation. Many of those vehicles, motorbikes, micro-mobility, like e-scooters and e-bikes. And we're trying to bring all of those vehicles into the modern transportation system to enhance not only safety, efficiency, but also comfort. This is not a small market. There's 75 million vehicles, and that's a significant opportunity. In many regions, especially developing economies, that's an important form of transportation and delivery services. And there's a clear need to also bring technology to those vehicles. Let's see a video about what we're doing. So this is really an exciting opportunity, especially to add capabilities to Snapdragon Digital Chassis, specifically engineered for those type of vehicles. Safety, infotainment, cloud-connected digital services, personalization, convenience, and that across a large number of different vehicles. And we just started. We absolutely just started on this. And we're so pleased to see the number of partnerships ranging from Gogoro in Taiwan to Harley-Davidson motorcycles. And this is a great, exciting opportunity to continue to bring digital transformation for all vehicles, and especially two-wheelers. I'm getting to the end of my presentation, and I just want to summarize it by saying we are really committed to the automotive transformation in this industry. We're here to stay. Hopefully you're going to see me many times here at IAA, and we'll hopefully continue to be relevant. Software-defined vehicle is going to fundamentally change the industry and the experience. The ability to bring Gen AI to the car, and Gen AI in the car is going to develop completely different than it develops on the car. I cannot think of a better use case for a natural interface between the car and the machine, and the ability to develop a personal relationship between you and the car. It's a pivotal time for the ecosystem. There are not only challenges, there are opportunities, and there are needs to do things different. It's also a time for partnerships. And we have this view. Our job is to make sure that existing automakers can succeed and deliver on their visions. And we'll continue to work very hard to be a partner, not only of the German industry, but the global automotive industry, and bring all of that digital transformation into reality. Thank you so much for the opportunity to listen to me, and thank you for being a great part of the automotive industry. Thank you.
I got that wow. Who wants some hits right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering.
All right, thank you very much, Cristiano
that
Amon, for that look at the intelligent, connected future of automotive. Guys, that is going to wrap it up for us today here on the main stage, but there is plenty more for you. Tomorrow we'll be kicking off at 9:45. I hope to see you all bright and early, and do check out the open spaces in Munich. I'll see you then.